Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Teen Gohan Fighter back with another video, and well, I'm making this video because, well, there's just too many ignorant Pokemon fans out there and just don't really get that much. But if you're a new fan and you haven't watched the original dub, then you wouldn't get this. So now, I'm going to debunk a specific YouTuber, commentary on parts of his videos that were flawed and wrong, and also debunk him with other facts that he conveniently left out and conveniently cut out of his video. And so, with that being said, it's time for the debunk video / commentary. So with that, let's put the intro in the books.
I am the hope of the universe.
No.
Allied to good, nightmare to you.
Hey guys, Draspy here, and today we're going to be talking about Pokeshipping and a thoughtful analysis. Now, analysis is when they first meet. Misty seems really nervous, is really only following him for his bike, and their relationship is full of a lot of quabbling and, that kind of thing, quarrels and such. And even when others point out the relationship they see forming between them, usually it's denied vehemently and reacted to adversely, although with blushing on Misty's part.
You do realize that the fact that they're blushing and instantly denying the relationship is an indication that they are in love with each other. I know it's not as common today's practice as it is back then, but being jealous towards a certain character was a sign of that you secretly loved them. For example, in Hey Arnold, there's a character named Helga, right? She secretly loved Arnold, but didn't tell her feelings about her because she would always be a jerk to Arnold. This happens in it even happened in Dragon Ball Z with Videl. Videl didn't originally like Gohan, but guess what? They slowly fell in love. This is called anger love. Anger love is a very common type of thing. It is sweetly denying your affection for one person. So again, your argument is pretty invalid because again, this is a practice that was practiced in a lot of anime / cartoons back in the 90s. So again, your argument has really no valid on this subject.
And as far as a relationship between her and Ash goes, the only real indicator that she might be jealous is, of course, with the Gazelle incident in School of Hard Knocks. This is also notable as one of the few times Ash ever shows attraction for a girl.
At least the crowd's small, so nobody will see me.
Misty! Huh? What are you doing up there? Are you part of the show?
Hiccupy! What are you two doing here?
That's a real cute outfit, Misty.
What are you two doing here?
That's a real cute outfit, Misty. That's a real cute outfit, Misty.
Very romantic creatures in our little cage.
You mean? Oh,
They're love boys.
Huh? Oh, you're crazy.
Crazy is right. Never in a million years.
But you're blushing.
Kissy, kissy.
Only reinforced as Ash continues to vehemently deny any relationship between him and Misty and any sort of connection of that sort with any female for that instance, or anyone. But there is hope when we go to the Orange Islands.
Oh, Ash, can't you hear me?
Hi, Misty.
Huh? You're alive.
Which clears the way of gym shipping, but unfortunately introduces dance shipping and orange shipping onto the scene. But after Brock leaves, we have no objection from Misty, and we have interesting smug remarks shortly after when James and Jesse and Meowth all remark that Misty and Ash might be a pair. Of course, they both deny it and blush, showing their first mutual turn away from it. Of course, Team Rocket isn't serious.
Wait a minute. So, you acknowledge this, but yet you're still trying to say that these two are not developed at all. They're clearly blushing. And as I stated earlier in this commentary video, anger, jealousy is a very common love trait between two characters. It happens all the time in fiction. Most noticeably, it happens in the 90s. 90s anime / cartoons, like this one, like Pokemon when it first came out. So again, you was trying to say that there's no development with them, that they're just doing these little kiddie little immature things to each other as just being kids. What kids do is not accurate at all, because as we have shown that Misty and Ash clearly have some type of affection, because obviously they wouldn't blush that way if they didn't really mean it. They quickly denied it, obviously, because they don't want to admit their true feelings for one another. Ash, obviously, Misty is more sided in love with Ash, but that doesn't mean Ash isn't in love with Misty, which it's been clearly shown. So yeah, again, wrong. And also, one more thing about dance shipping and orange shipping. There's been no proof about orange shipping, and dance shipping was just a stupid tie-in episode, which Misty obviously denied for Ash. But we'll get to more of that later. Debunking those stupid claims as well. But yeah.
During the Orange series, we also see that Misty is beginning to grow tired of Ash and starting to move on, as in when we see her interactions with some of the Orange Island male gym leaders as well. We also see her spending more time with Tracy, and yeah, that guy. Tracy, we'll get into how we feel about you on a different video, but for now, you're okay.
Based on what? Like, seriously, just because Misty is flirting with other people doesn't mean anything, which, by the way, you didn't even post any evidence proving that. But, her, trying to interact with other people does not necessarily mean that she's growing tired of Ash. And as we will later exploit in the video, proves otherwise, that she hasn't grown tired of him. Which, again, are you serious right now? They freaking travel together. It's not it's oh my god, I'm gonna just, keep, whatever, because I'm traveling with him anyways, So, why, how do you truly know that they're, growing tired? How do you know that she's spending more time with Trey? You're not proving your point at all. You're just saying, oh, well, you just show, one video clip of, them just, near each other, and that's it. That's his argument? That's your evidence? Because, bro, I have way more evidence than that. You're gonna show a little clip here and a little clip there, and like say, oh, well, this must be true. Dude, your video is so goddamn flawed, it's not even funny. But don't worry, we'll get more into that later on. So yeah, your total argument on Tracy and Misty is just stupid, but you're gonna elaborate on that later, and I'll rebuttal that one as well. Don't worry. But until then, let's get back to more of these points that you are making. Ugh, I'm done.
Reaction. It is mostly one-sided, as most of Misty's relationships are. It provokes disappointment from both Ash and Tracy. And then as far as Danny goes, well, no, not Danny, Rudy goes, he actually proposes to Misty, and after thinking about it, she vehemently rejects him and decides to support. That's not Rudy, don't worry. Rudy's the other guy you'll see in a bit. But she chooses Ash over Rudy. Now, whether that was just to get back at him for being so upfront and bold, we won't know, but Rudy's crushed. Showing it worked, but hey, in the end they all made up. He gave her some roses and said goodbye, and told Ash how lucky he was. Now, Ash didn't get this at the time, and I don't think that the reason he didn't get it was because he didn't understand. It's because they had kind of broken up already.
Again, I will ask you based on what? How are you going to say that Misty and Ash were broken up when we don't even know if they were actually in a relationship while they were traveling? They were just traveling together. Yeah, they had romantic feelings for one another, but that doesn't mean that they were actually dating while they were traveling together. I mean, this is a kid show. So how can you say that they've broken it off already? How can you say they've broken it off already when you don't have any true clear evidence on that? You're trying to imply that they're doing something off screen, which you can't base that on that because you don't know. Another thing about Tracy, you're trying to imply, oh, well, Tracy and Rubio, or whatever his name was, that he was, for them, it was for Ash or whatever, or for Misty. Where's Tracy into Misty? And again, that was a cameo episode, which even proves more that Pokeshipper is more alive than ever at this point, because again, Misty rejected him for Ash. So again, you're making no sense. And also, just because Ash didn't know what he was talking about, that he's a lucky guy, doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of characters in fiction that doesn't know what marriage is, or what boyfriend and girlfriend is. Example, Goku didn't know what marriage was when freaking Chi-Chi proposed to him. Also, another anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. There was an episode where Jade and Yugi won a duel or whatever, and because of that, it was like he had to face this person who loved Alexis Rose, right? And if he won, whoever won was Alexis's fiance. Jaden didn't know what that meant, okay? But he beat him, and because of that, Jaden asked, hey, Alexis, I guess I'm your fiance or whatever. I don't really know what that means, though. So he didn't know what it meant. You understand? So again, just because someone doesn't know or implies what they mean in a cartoon/anime does not mean that they have broken off or have some type of relationship off screen. Are you freaking that stupid? Like, I'm sorry, but like you're implying something that is not true. You're trying to imply that he doesn't know it because they think they're broken up, where in reality it could just be the fact that he just doesn't know what he means. Because there are characters in fiction that don't know usually what they mean. And since Ash is a 10-year-old person, it could just be that he doesn't know what he's talking about at this point. So yeah, wrong again, dude.
The fact that Misty had kind of abandoned Ash we see that Misty actually is not interested in Ash anymore, completely running him down, going for more mature and older males, like for example Danny, the gym leader of Naval Island. Some see this as jealousy on Ash's part, but in my opinion it's just friends. Now, as we see here, Ash seems to be a little detached from Misty at this point, but Misty finally shows reattachment to Ash. But as you notice here, she's standing next to Tracy right now. Now, I see that as evidence that maybe a closer relationship between Tracy and Misty, but there's still raw nerves about the recent departure from Ash.
So, people can't be attracted to other people? Your logic makes no sense. Okay, you're trying to say that she is not into Ash anymore, but one could argue that she's just attracted to someone else at the same time attracted to Ash. Like, that's happened a lot in cartoons and animes. It's not like that hasn't happened before. For example, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, there were multiple episodes where Katara was interested in older people besides Aang. And guess what? Katara and Aang ended up being shipped together in a canonized fashion at the end of the series. So, again, your logic makes no sense on the fact that Misty is interested in other people besides Ash. Your logic makes no sense. Again, stupid argument. And now for your other argument that, it returns in the movie 2000, that Misty is kind of jealous because one of the other girls kind of like kissed Ash. But then she gets jealous of that, but then you say, oh, well, notice how she's next to Tracy. That's like saying me that I'm next to a girl, and does that's like saying that I'm traveling with someone and there's three people and like I'm next to a girl, and does that mean that she's into me? Like, that makes no sense. I could literally get an image of when Ash was near Misty. Does that mean, dude, like, that is like ABC logic right there. Like, literally, that is ABC logic. Like, that makes no freaking sense. Oh, just because he's right next to him. Oh my god, in this frame, he's right next to him, so apparently that means Tracy and Misty are in together. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, that is a stupid argument. That is such a stupid freaking argument. I don't even want to say anything more about that dumb argument. So yeah, let's get to the next thing.
This idea is further reinforced when Misty is shown ruing over how Melody is treating Ash and shows extreme jealousy. This may be seen as evidence, but I still think this is probably raw nerves, and she's also seen sitting closer to Ash. But that can be also seen as her keeping an eye on Ash, mainly because she lost out on him and doesn't want anyone else to have him. It's kind of something some people do, shows a flaw in character, but hey, I'm not going to hold Misty to it. She's an anime character.
Or it could just be a sign that Misty is jealous because another girl is interested in Ash. Do you ever think of that? And you also said that, she doesn't want her to get with Ash, so she's keeping a close eye on him. One could argue that she's jealous to the fact that she still wants him. And also, you claimed that, Misty lost out on Ash. As I stated, it was never specifically stated while they were on their journey that they actually were together. You're trying to put a theory on an off-screen cameo, which again, you have no proof to back that up. You are just theorizing on it, which is stupid because it is a kid show. They are traveling together. Yes, they show hints, but they are not, intimate yet. Because that's what's supposed to happen at the end of the show in a relationship, not what happens while they're on a journey. because they are kids. They are both 10 years old. So they're not going to be like in love while they're on an anime show. They're not. So you saying that she lost out on him? No, she didn't lose out on him. She didn't lose out on him because she never had him yet. She's still into him. And Ash is somewhat still into her. So again, your logic is so stupid. You're saying, oh, you're just trying to make a case really on why Misty isn't with him because he lost out, and it's just like, oh, she's just jealous, or she could just be jealous because she's afraid someone else is going to try and move in and take Ash away from her. One could just argue that too, but of course you blindly blank that out of a possibility just to try and stretch it into your favor, which makes you biased, by the way, because you're not looking at it as an anime perspective, you're looking at it as a real life perspective, which is stupid because, again, this is an anime and this is not how an anime and a cartoon love story works. So again, your logic is so stupid it's not even funny. So yeah. Yeah, let's just get to the next part.
Raw Nerve theory is further proved when later Misty seems to just kind of with annoyance dismiss the whole, oh, Ash is your boyfriend? No, that's what she says. Although, it's also seen to note that Tracy seems very interested in the scene, asking if it's about him.
And Ash is never really alone because he's got me. And Ash is never really alone because he's got me. And Ash is never really alone because he's got me.
So basically, exactly where were you going with this? Because I just showed you the clip 3 times just so it could get through your brain cell on how she was specifically saying that. I mean, she wasn't just saying that like, like nothingness. Like, she said it passionately, confidently, forcing it to her, to that person. So she knew. She knew that Misty was in love with Ash right from then and there. And you're trying to, say, oh, well, Tracy's involved in it. Well, that doesn't prove that Misty is into Tracy. And it doesn't mean anything because Tracy was kind of, he was kind of obnoxious type of personality. He kind of liked to butt in people's business a lot, because he's an artist and likes to draw things. So where the hell did this prove your point? Your point made no sense. Again, you're debunked. Again, it's right there. She's clearly indicating that she has feelings for Ash right then and there. Right there. You cannot debate that anymore. It's right there. So yeah, let's just move on.
Johto Journeys return, and Brock returns, and there's more of a coolness. And Misty is shown telling Brock that it's better to love someone who loves you than to love someone who doesn't love you at all.
That's not exactly what was actually said. You took that seriously out of context. And that was also to express Brock's failures with ladies and or women, whatever you want to, or girls or whatever. But basically, it wasn't supposed to be for that. That's not what it was. And again, that's just taking up an assumption of one particular line. So yeah, what you said didn't really validate anything or anything that you stated there. So yeah, again, you just took that shit out of context. So yeah, let's just move on.
She's still loving Ash, but knowing that he doesn't like her and it's just one-sided and she's gotten over it. But there's still the whole jealousy thing whenever another female character shows up, like in this sequence here. Now, I don't know why Misty still wants to break up Ash with other people, but I really think it's because she's very possessive. At this point, Misty has been with Ash, and she just really does not like what's happened. Now, Why this is the case, of course, we don't know, but I think that it's probably a healthy thing that Misty ended up breaking up with the group in the end.
I ask again, based on what? You even flat out said that you don't know why she does this. How can you honestly say that Misty does not know if she's going to be the... You're taking assumptions that off screen that these two, like, weren't a thing. Like, that they were a thing at one point and then they weren't into each other. Like, that's what you're taking those assumptions. Again, Misty trying to break someone up that might have a thing for Ash has nothing to do with possessive. It's the fact that she loves Ash and that she still wants to be with Ash. Alright? And again, there was no evidence to prove that Ash and Misty had a relationship while they were traveling together. So again, it's really stupid that you keep mentioning this crap. That they're breaking up when they never were, and that Misty has come to the realization that they're not going to be a thing, which is really stupid on your part because, again, you're taking assumptions and theories based on off-screen cameos, which you cannot prove of what they've done off-screen off the anime. So, again, I ask, based on what? Like, seriously, I know this is cliche, but seriously, you have provided no evidence, no proof, no nothing, but your assumption of what Misty is thinking, what Ash is thinking, which is ridiculous because it makes no logical sense to the fact that there's nothing there to prove your theory right. But yet you still are trying to go with this crap that, oh, it's best that Misty left the cast, yada, 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 all this other crap. And yet you've not provided anything to prove this. So, yeah. Let's get into the next thing he said, because he's already pissed me off right now with his lack of dumbass evidence. So, yeah, let's move on.
Now, this is still a very sad moment, and what I'm about to go into still makes me cry. And I actually stopped crying after I rewatched it for like the 10th time. But we're finally going to go over the goodbye sequence, which I see as the canon confirmation that Misty and Ash are not going to be a thing. And she's all sad and everything, reminiscing about everything that's happened. Many Pokeshippers take this as a scene to show that they are really together. But if we notice here, it kind of seems like they've been traveling together for years now. They're great friends. I mean, wouldn't you be upset if your best friend left you and you know it was probably going to be like forever or something? That'd be a very emotional moment whether you guys are into each other or not. I mean, seriously, think about it. This is a parting of great friends. I believe, yes, Misty still likes Ash, but does Ash like Misty? No, they're not a thing. Ash, he just isn't into her. It's just not the way he thinks. I mean, Misty might like Ash, but Ash doesn't like Misty. This whole scene shows their memories, and it shows them more in a friendship way. Notice how all these scenes show them together. There's no scenes here that really just show them apart together, unless there's no romantic situations or anything. Probably the best scene would probably be where he's helping her, but in the end, it's all just a parting. They're all going. And notice how they also show Brock and Misty apart, as in this is a separation of the trio. We're getting ready for a new chapter, new beginnings, new adventures. And Misty herself even says, "I finally know how you feel about me, Ash Ketchum," after they part.
You're more than just my best friend. What makes me Misty most of all in our final curtain call is knowing that I won't see you again. You're more than just my best friend. You're more than just my best friend.
So yeah, that pretty much just debunks your stupid claim about the friend zone thing, because in the very song that was aired in the episode, it clearly shows lyrics that says, "You're more than just my best friend." And before you say, "Oh, well, that could mean anybody," it could mean Brock or some crap like that, keep in mind the image video that they showed while they were saying that lyric dialogue was specifically Misty holding Ash's arm, and trying to pull him somewhere, because they're and they had the romantic sparkles in the background, clearly indicating Pokeshipping right there. So again, your logic makes no sense, and pretty much the song indicates more of a Pokeshipping than friend zone, as you're trying to state. So yeah, no, you're wrong. And again, I just debunked that right there. And if you're going to say that that's wrong, well, you really can't, because it's you're more than my best friend indicates that you're in love, because obviously best friend is better than your normal friend. So if you're more than someone's best friend, that means you're lovers. That's what that dialogue means. So again, your logic makes no freaking sense. So again, I just debunked that stupid claim too. So yeah, let's move on.
Ash Ketchum is not for her. It is just not meant to be. I know you guys are probably thinking, but wait, Brock isn't even really... Well, Brock comes back. That's just the way things go. And the whole handkerchief scenario? Think about it. Handkerchiefs, back then, were, in the East, are a sign of breakups and departures of loved ones. Departures. They are through. And meals, well, it's just courtesy. Brock's being polite. And they wrap the handkerchief around. The handkerchief is meant to be a sign of departure. It is meant to show you that Pokeshipping is over. The handkerchief is like the nail in the coffin. It's a very sentimental nail in the coffin, but in the end, see how Ash is crushed? He knows what this means, yet he doesn't at the same time. This is what it's all about. It's a parting. It is through.
So once again, you're going on this whole thing about that they're departing, and that they're not meant for them. But how? Again, you're basing theoretical theories that they're through, which doesn't prove anything. Just because they're departing doesn't mean that they still don't love each other one another. It doesn't. It means that they're departing as a group. Now, you use the argument about Brock coming back, but you didn't use the argument about Misty coming back, because she did come back a few times. She came back in the Hoenn region, and she also came back for a few times in the at the beginning of the Battle Frontier arc. Yeah, she didn't come back for a whole season, but she still came back. So again, your argument is invalid. You're using an argument that is really stupid, because again, Misty did come back a few times for a couple episodes, which you didn't bring that up. You conveniently left that out. You're just like, oh, well, you just brought about Brock. Oh, well, Brock came back. It's doesn't matter. Misty also came back for a little bit. Also, you use the whole handkerchief argument that in the East that it is very popular that they give a item to one another person to remember him by. Just because she gave him that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a parting, as in terms of that they are through. She is leaving the cast. That doesn't mean anything. By your logic, that means that everything that is given is supposed to be like a departure. Just because you give a handkerchief doesn't necessarily mean that she is leaving, as in they're through. Because again, you're using the term through as in a shipping, yet they haven't been shipped together yet, besides the evidence that we've given. But You're taking it in the contents where that they were paired with each other at one point off screen, which they haven't. They were not in a relationship while they were traveling, and that is what you were trying to make. That is your argument, is that they were a couple at one point while they were traveling. That is your argument. That is what you have been trying to make it sound like, and that's not true at all. They were not a couple while they were traveling. We had hints, and still to this day we want Pokeshipping to be canon, and it should be, but that's through development, which is what the build-up was with all the little hints. That's what those hints are for, so to speak. So yeah, again, your argument is really invalidated because you're not using anything to prove your point. All you are putting down is theories on off-screen things that never happened, and then just, I don't even know where you go to use the whole handkerchief thing. I mean, Ash had a fishing rod of Misty. I'm sure that was given to him off screen too, right? Because in Gen 4, which is what, 2 gens or 3? Actually, no, that's like 3 seasons later after Misty had left already the main cast. 3 seasons later, all of a sudden a Misty fishing rod appears in Gen 4 that we never knew about.
Right. She's a friend of ours who's now
So, yeah, again, like, your logic makes no sense, dude. 3 seasons later, he has a fishing rod. So how is it that we didn't know about this later? You're trying to say that Ash never had feelings for Misty. Well, I mean, he's 10, granted, but I mean, obviously he does, because we've shown consistencies throughout the series, from Ash and Misty, as well as the fact that he has a fishing rod of her. Okay, a fishing rod of a girl. Who the hell does that? And obviously he's had it for a long time, because you're not going to just have a random fishing rod of someone that's been gone for 3 seasons. Like 3 seasons. We never seen this fishing rod until literally 3 seasons later, after Misty left the main cast. So, again, you just don't make sense, dude. So, let's just move on, because his next thing really just pisses me off. So, let's go.
As you know, Misty knows that Ash isn't into her. And, well, as things go on, life goes on. Prepare to be crushed. I'm warning you, turn away if you don't like it. It is orange shipping. Orange shipping is the winner. Now, the reason being, is actually what happens afterwards. Tracy is in Kanto, Misty is in Kanto, Brock and Ash are out traveling. You might be wondering, what? Keep away shipping. Now think about it. Tracy and Misty are obviously visiting each other a lot. Tracy goes all the way to Cerulean, and if we look at a map of the whole Kanto region, think about the distance Tracy has to cross to visit her, and he still does it. He has to go all the way to Verdian, all the way to Pewter, and over Mount Moon, and as Professor Oak says it seems like this is a regular occurrence despite the vast distance he has to travel by foot. He has to go through a forest, he has to go through a mountain. It's huge, and it's not like they have cars or anything.
But it looks like Route 24 leads right to Vermilion City.
Route 24 does not lead to Vermilion City. It goes in the exact opposite direction.
Alright, I'll get to in a second on why I posted that clip. But first I want to get into the argument at hand about, them living in Decanto and they're together and that Tracy always, does errands all the way over there. First of all, you do realize that Tracy is used to traveling, right? He's used to going over mountains and going to different cities all the time. So it isn't really uncommon for him not to do a task for Professor Oak. I mean, he is like, Professor Oak's assistant right now? So, again, and getting back to that soundbite clip, it was to show you that the Pokemon universe and the game universe are two completely different canons. And just like the Pokemons are different, where they can use more than 4 attacks, it is pretty much assumed to say that the game map does not coincide with the anime map, as I just showed. And proved. And another thing, if by your logic on Tracy and Missy possibly being together because Tracy does a lot of tasks for Professor Oak to go and see Misty or whatever, by your logic, that means Professor Oak and Ash's mother, Dahlia, are a thing. Because Professor Oak and Dahlia traveled together to go see Ash at the Pokemon League. Multiple times, may I add. So, again, by your logic, okay, that means they should be a couple. Just because one is traveling to see another person, that does not necessarily mean that they are in love with each other. That is just absolute crap. That makes next to no sense, especially since we're in the Pokemon universe when pretty much these trainers pretty much travel everywhere. I mean, you got pretty much everyone that's a Pokemon trainer training or traveling. They're used to walking. They're pretty much used to walking. It's not like they're not used to this. Tracy's used to it from his adventures in Orange Islands. So it's not like this is like not uncommon for him. So your logic makes no sense. And again, Professor Oak and Dahlia have traveled together multiple times to see Ash in the Pokemon League. Does that make them a couple? No. And don't even go there. All the little shipper theories that actually think that is legitimate, because it's not. But your logic makes no sense. Again, the game and the animes are two different universes. As we've shown, it's not just the Pokemon that can't use more than 4 moves, or in the game, but in the anime they can use more than 4 moves. Basically, in the anime, it is alleged to assume that the map is quite different to the game, as I've just proven, basically. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about this. So let's get to the next thing.
I mean, only Gary Oak does. And that's because he won $1 million from his grandpa. No thanks to Ash. Why would the someone else that she refers to as Giorgio be Ash? I mean, she hasn't seen him in, forever. It's obviously Tracy. I mean, think about it. Tracy is the one. I mean, Ash just isn't mature enough. And Tracy is mature. He visits her. I mean, heck, even if they weren't together by the whole end of Hoenn, they're probably together now. I mean, Ash hasn't been seen in a blue moon. Misty hasn't been seen in a blue moon. Tracy, never. So obviously they're together. Hey.
Yet you've literally have no evidence backing up your claim besides the fact, oh, he is the one. He is the one, saying it so figuratively. Oh, he is the one. He's got to be the one, even though we've explained to you that, well, they travel, people visit, they come and go all the time, and you're making assumptions, oh, that they're together now. By now, oh yeah, they're together, definitely together. Based on what? No evidence. Just theories. Again, on your part. Again, what is with your stupid theories? Your theories are off-screen cameos. We're in a parallel universe where somehow Ash is still 10 years old in 2016. Yet you're still insisting that somehow these two are together still. Somehow. Somehow Tracy and Misty are together. Yet you have no evidence besides the fact that they're traveling together, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and have no proof backing up your claim. You're just saying, oh, it's just nothing. You just don't have anything. You have not proven anything. So again, it makes next to no sense. So yeah, let's get to the next part.
I know that I didn't talk about movie evidence or anything, but when you think about it, a lot of the movies change things up. Like the whole Jirachi scene that used to be about comets and time, and then it got turned into friendship and Misty in the English dub.
Well, yet I'm glad you decided not to use the movie continuity, because I have a continuity clip right here that just debunks all your claims right now. So let's roll that.
Based on a trailer featuring unused footage from the film that showed an older-looking Misty hugging a pink-haired girl with a Pikachu present, what Pokeshippers presume is Ash and Misty's daughter.
So as you can see, clearly, Ash and Misty are supposed to be a thing. That is clearly an older Misty with their daughter and Pikachu. So yeah, Pokeshipping is canon. Of course, someone would say, "Oh, well, this was unused. This was part of the Japanese trailer or whatever." It still proves and indicates that these two, in fact, are supposed to be together, and that is the point of this whole video and this whole debunk video. Pretty much the rest of his video is just, plugging his channel and stuff like that, so I'm not going to really get into that stuff. What I'm basically trying to put at is that Pokeshipping is real. I have proven without a shadow of a doubt enough evidence to prove this. And I have also, at the same time, debunked this guy, this anti-Pokeshipper, and all his points. And mainly, I did this because of the simple fact that his video was very disrespectful to Pokeshippers. And that's why I felt the need to do this, especially since he had done a previous video that disrespected the fandom as well. So that's why I did this. I did a lot of editing on this, so I hope you guys like this, and hopefully some certain YouTube users will get a reality check before they decide to be ignorant on their channel. That's really all I gotta say. That's all I gotta do. Comment, rate, and that's about it, guys. Team Gohan Fighter out of here. Peace.